Alright, I'm going to make a video on resealing this transmission. The only thing I'm not doing, I'm not splitting it and putting a gasket between it. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to replace brake band seal, drive pulley seal, axle seals, if I can get these hubs off. And I think I did get the high and low shifter seal too. Most of the seals are supposed to be here today. I'll get the part numbers later on in the video if anybody else is trying to do this. But right now I'm draining what's left in it. I think I drained it when I pulled it from the tractor. This is for the SS14. Also waxing my car today, so figured I'd get this up here and start draining it so I can put fresh in it when I'm done. But I gotta get all this stuff pulled off, get the belt guard and the belt off and the pulley. And these hubs are probably going to be your hardest part. At least you got like 50-50 chance if they're going to come off or not. Most of the time they don't. I had one transmission, I soaked it for probably 6 months with the set screws out. And I mean, we had it glowing cherry red with a torch and it would not come off. But I got one extra long hub in the stash, and then I have another transmission under there that has 2 on it. Worst comes to worst, I can't get these off without breaking them. But alright, I'm gonna pull this back out when I start messing with it. Alright, I just noticed these threads for these transmission bolts were pretty crappy, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap those out before I spend a bunch of time. I'll make sure I can make the threads good before I spend a bunch of time resealing it. And I'll blow out the holes when I'm done. It's been so long since I pulled this transmission, I can't remember how the bolts came out. Threads do look a little messed up. And I've learned you have a better chance of removing all these bolts without snapping them if you use like an impact. All the ones I've tried to do by hand, I all snap off. Mainly the back ones, not these top ones. I haven't broke one off in the top ones yet, but and these are 7/16 by 14. I'm not going to bore you with watching me do the other two, but alright, I'm going to start by pulling this belt guard off. I don't know how I can get this good angle. Start trying to get these set screws out. The nut for the set screws, 9/16. I'm going to try to do it with a ratchet and a socket. These are pretty rusty. I'm just going to remove these all the way, because I get a feeling this hub's going to be stuck on there. And I hope to get some penetrating oil down in the holes. Like I said, I've had quite a few of these off, and most of the time the hubs are stuck. Unless it's had an axle seal leak for a long time. If it wasn't going in a repainted tractor, I probably wouldn't worry about doing axle seals now, but figured while it's out, I might as well seal a couple things up. Yeah, so far it's feeling like it's not going to slide right off. So I got a feeling I'm going to have the torch out here before long. And next, I guess I'll try to get this pulley off. I'm pretty sure this is on a tapered shaft. So I should just be able to get it to pop off, hopefully, with some pressure. I'm going to try this first. If this doesn't work, I got a air hammer I can use. Try and get that nut in there a little bit further. You can also bend these pulleys too doing this, but realistically, I should have a brass hammer on this, but I don't have one. Alright, I'm going to turn this off, get the air hammer set up. Alright, I just had to get it pressed back against the wall so I could actually put pressure on it. I'm pretty sure it popped. I don't think I boogered up the shaft. There's the pulley. I'll get that keyway out. Pretty sure it's the same thing on the brake band. My dad's gonna be here in a little bit. He can help me try to hold it while I try to work the air hammer. Alright, I gave up on the air hammer idea. My dad showed up and he reminded me how we use this puller. Worked pretty good. I just used a 1/2 inch deep impact socket to put in there to make up some difference so we had enough pulling distance. You can see how rusty this axle is, but probably throw up the tripod when we do the other side. Pretty much just tighten it down some and beat on the end of it. It's a pretty nice puller. We used it for, like I said, our FF series to get the hub off to do the axle seal. Just use 6 bolts into the hub. I think I actually used transmission bolts because they had to be longer than the regular wheels bolts, but alright, I'll throw this back up when we get to the other side. Alright, got it set up on this side and it's already pulling right off. This side's definitely not anywhere as close to as tight as the other one. I'm going to start pulling this brake band stuff off. through there yet. I don't know if this is going to help or not. The other ones of these I've done came right out. Pretty big slot in there. Hold that pry bar and try to hold the transmission back there. I got it. Alright, I can't remember what the last thing I filmed was, but to get that brake band screw out, the flathead one, I had my dad hold the transmission while I used the impact driver, and it finally came out. And I got this axle seal out. Got everything all cleaned up. Somebody, I think, replaced it already because the other ones I've done had rubber seals. This has a metal outside edge. But got that cleaned up. Gonna get that axle seal in. I think the seal for the high and low shifter is supposed to be here today. I don't know if I might split this video up into two parts, but and then I know the other seal is going to be here sometime this weekend or early next week, but I don't know which seal is what. Either the seal for the brake band or for the drive pulley. That one, I don't know when that's coming, but I got everything ordered. I kind of thought of this last minute, and I just ordered everything the other day. But I'll throw this back up when I'm putting the seal back in. I ended up using it's got paint on it now because I was testing different paints, but it's a handle off of a power washer, and I just cut it off. I can slip it over and put it right on the seal, knock the seal in. That's the easiest way I've found to do it. Thankfully, the power washer handle is about the right size. Another thing I do is when I pull the transmissions, I just pull this, take that off, pull this cap, and then put the cap back in. That way you don't have to pull the whole rear hitch plate. You can leave that on. It's a little bit harder that way, but rather than pulling all the bolts out of the hitch plate and all that, I just unbolt the transmission and unscrew that. If you drain it, you can leave this plug out of it, but this will screw right into the transmission. I usually do that to pull the transmissions. Alright, I'm going to throw this back on. I got to change the battery in it. Here's the part numbers for the axle seals. 9838. It's a SKF by CR Seals, I guess. I think Napa's part number's also this. I think Napa sells them. There's a local bearing and seal place I get these from, but I think what it actually is for a Dodge steering box for the pitman arm seal. I think that's what it's actually for, if I remember correctly, but there's a part number. It's good.
If an angle further than flush.
Yeah, it's fine. Alright, I don't know what the last clip I have is. I think I was attempting to put the high-low shifter seal in, but I ended up getting the wrong seal number. Somehow I messed the numbers up, so I ordered the right one. I think it's supposed to be here today or Monday, but I got the seal here. Looking at the size of it, I think it's this drive pulley seal, because the seal over here is bigger for the brake band. So I'll probably set this up, get that old seal pulled out, and put this one in. And then all I gotta do is wait for this one to come in, and the one on the other side, I don't know when the hell that's coming in. Because I wanted to try to do it without cross-referencing, and the website I ordered it from is like a actual like Husqvarna or Sears parts place, so who the hell knows when I'm gonna get it. I'm not in that much of a hurry for it. The tractor still needs to get finished, but I had some time last weekend, so I wanted to get started on this process. I might put it into 2 videos, I don't know, because I'm going to be waiting a little while for the seal, and I don't have a video for this week. Alright, yesterday I made a short little video getting the SS14 motor running, but I don't think I filmed anything on this. I got the drive pulley seal replaced. I removed the one for the brake band. I don't know when that seal's showing up. And I just got the seal for the high-low shifter. That's part number for the high-low shifter seal. It's a Toro number. And I looked through and I found a good brake band in my parts box. So I got a good brake band now. And I cleaned the drum, I guess you'd call it, off. So I got that stuff pulled out. I'm probably not going to put the brake drum and all back on until after I paint it. I probably should have left this off too, but I still got to power wash it and get all the grease off of this thing. And I did a video, I don't know when I'm going to post them. They're pretty short, but just a little walk around to the FF20. Got all my shit covered up and on tenders. But I might throw the camera up when I put this seal in. I might not. I don't know yet. I cleaned this up. This is the rod that goes through for the brake. I started cleaning this up, trying to get some of the paint off of it. I don't know if the later tractors came with them or not. Like my 18.6 doesn't have one. Neither does my 16.6 or the 16.6 twin I have. And I put the one back on the ST12. Because I took that one off because I was going to sell that. And I figured I'd put it on one of these, my other yellow ones that didn't have one. They kind of get in the way for some attachments. For like a mower deck or something, that's not that big of a deal. My grandfather's Hydro still has one. And I dug another one out so I could paint it and put on the SS14. I have like 1 or 2 of those left still. Plus the SS14 has this little spacer too, so that's going to be fun getting everything lined up. Alright, just a little update. Like I said, I might throw the camera up when I do that. I don't know what this transmission reseal video is going to turn into, because I might just throw it up without replacing that seal, because I mean, it's just pulling the rubber seal out and putting a new one in. It's not, I'd hate to wait weeks for this seal to come in, which is probably what it's going to take before I can get this video up.